Yeah, so hi everyone, welcome to the day 3 of the cohort. Um, let's wait for a few minutes until everybody joins. And until then, like if you have any doubt, like you can ask in the chat, or else let me just discuss the today's agenda. So in the last session what we have discussed was the stateless stateful class, but our main goal of today's session will be in the last session we have created a dynamic kind of page, whenever we were clicking on the button, the text was getting updated. Okay, but today like that was just a single screen page, but today our focus will be like how to create a multiple screen page, like how to navigate from one page to other page, and how again like how to go back to the previous page and all of those things. So that is our main goal for today. Just a quick question, am I audible, right? Like you can just type in the chat like if am I audible, and if you have any questions like you can ask, or like we can just start with today's session. Good evening. Yeah, okay, so like I'm audible, right? So I'm just presenting my screen. Let me just quickly revise the previous day concepts, just 1 minute. Okay, so now it's working. So let's just discuss like whatever we have discussed in the last session. Like if you have revised the last session, and I don't think like I need to share the code. Like previously I was thinking like I have to share the code, but still like I will share the code with you. But like if you have any question, like you can, the video is on YouTube, so you can just quickly revise the previous concepts as well, if you have any doubt. uh, like in the last class we have discussed how to create a kind of a clone of the Gmail app first page, like what we see. And there we have discussed a few concepts about the app bar, how to add an action button, how to add an leading button, and apart from that we have discussed about the container, column, row, and some other widgets also we have discussed, like icon items. Yeah, so our today's goal will be, like as I told, to create a multiple screen app. So let me just, I think I Okay. Yeah. So our main goal for today is to create multiple screen app, and I'm just quickly revising the classes concept as well. So in Flutter, we have two classes. We have another class also, but the widely used class are the stateless and the stateful. Stateless and stateful. As I already discussed, like if we create some widget in the stateless class, and we want to modify it after it is getting built, then that thing we cannot do in the stateless class. For that we have to use the stateful class. And apart from that, again, just changing the name from stateless to stateful will not change anything more. If we want to track a variable, for that we have to write this code inside a function. But what we discussed in the previous class was a set state function, and whatever we will write is inside this function, that value will be get updated to the UI. So I think this part is pretty much clear in the previous session. Also, like if you have any other doubt as well, like we will discuss more on this today as well. I think there's no question. Okay, fine. So I'm just going to the Android Studio. So I've created a new project with the name Day 5, and I've run this code here. So just quickly revising all of those concepts. So the first thing what we do is like we just remove all of this code. And again, what we do here, we just type material app, and the reason we write material app is because we want to use the material library for the UI. And inside material, usually like which we use is the home. But home supports kind of like either we can directly add a scaffold, or the in the last session we have discussed like we have to create a new file instead. So I'm going with that concept. I'm creating a new file with the name first, and I'm creating a stateful class because in case I want to change something in the UI, so it will be better not to change again and again for that. So I'm creating a new class with the name my first, And again, I'm just removing this constant placeholder, and instead I will type scaffold because I want to use scaffold. And as soon as I will type scaffold, all of the errors will gone. And the reason here is because the stateful class comes from the material, from the Flutter material library. And as soon as we have typed scaffold, this library is automatically imported here. So that's the reason this error has gone. And inside the home parameter, I will type here my first. And I will just run this code again, and just to check. So okay, so it's working fine. So like just don't type whole code at once and then again run the code. The reason I am telling you is like if you will type the complete code and you will just run the code, so it will be very hard for you to check like in which line there was error. So for example, like if I will type something a typo here or something typo here, so after running each and every time, just press Ctrl S after each and every step you do. For example, like I'm creating an app bar, so uh, just a minute. So like for example, I just type app bar and I want to create an app bar. After writing app bar, just press Ctrl S. So you can just live on real time. You can see the update as shown here. And I'm just typing here title and text, and I will type here text, for example, first page. Okay, first page. That's all. I don't have any other requirement. And in the body, what I will do in body, I will create and in center I will create a button, for example, an elevated button I'm creating here, elevated button on press function here. And again, as elevated button have two mandatory parameters here, and just you can scroll here and you will find it has another name parameter required, which is the child. So I have to specify a child and specify the child, like I will type here, for example, go to next page, because first thing like what we will learn today is how to navigate to the other page. So just again pressing Ctrl S, and you can see here we have a button with the name go to next page. And as soon as I will type, I can see nothing will happen because this function here is empty. So if I want to check anything, I can just type print and I can just check button clicked. And I can just again run this, refresh this code, click on this button, and you can see the button clicked is getting printed here. Okay, so that's pretty much. But like my requirement is to go to another page. Okay, so what I will do here, I will create another page here, go to Dart file, and I will create another with the name second. This will be my second page, second.dart. Here I will create an again stateful class with the name of my second, and the same thing I will type here with the name scaffold. And I will just add a app bar here, app bar. And the text I will add here, that is the title, will be second page. That's all, second page. Nothing else, just added a simple thing here mentioned here. But I will run this code again and I can't see the second page here, because the reason here is the our home is linked with the my first here. It doesn't know how to go to the second page. But if I want to open the second page, what I can do here is my second. Okay, but this is how I can see my second page. But my requirement is like not to the first page should be the first page, and on clicking the button I want to open the second page. Okay, so I think the requirement here is like this is our first page first, and we have the our second page second. And on clicking this button I want to open this page. Okay, but the limitation again here is what is actually happening here is in the home I have just defined a single. There is a home, and here we have defined the first page. So this will open the first page, but there's no option to add the second page. Okay, so we will just change few concepts here, and this would work. The reason I will not directly jump to like if you've seen, like even I can show you the starting of point to be the stateless widget. But the thing concept here is there is a limitation of each and everything. So that's the reason we have another concept. For example, I can say you can straight away use the column widget. Okay, but the reason for the column widget over the container is container only supports a single child, and column and row supports multiple child. Okay, so I can directly show to the column as well, but there's a limitation in the previous kind of thing. Okay, so that's the reason, like I will first tell you like this option we have available, and then there's some limitations. So So that's the reason we are again shifting to some other concept as well. So again, there's some other property in the material app. So like we can define each and every page there, and we will again define our first page as well. Okay, so let me just repeat like what we will do here. Like here in the material app, I have to define about each and every page. Like in our app we have first page, second page, third page. So I will define about my each and every page details here, and even I have to tell which page I want to as my first page. Okay, so inside a variable there's information to store about each and everything, and obviously that will be a list or kind of a map supports like so that it will support, instead of one information it will support multiple information. And again we have to tell like I want this to be first page, or this to be first page, or this to be first page. So let's first create this kind of thing where we can define each and everything, and what we called is route. Route store information about each and every page that is in our app. Okay, for example, like I can create the 10 different dart files. Okay, so our app doesn't know, like this file is specific for the screen, and this file is specific for some kind of to fetch some data from the database or the API or some other kind of thing. So for that reason we have to add each and every detail of the route here. So what I will, so let me just find if I have a variable with the name of routes or something that supports routes. So again, the same thing, we have to go inside the material app, let's press control plus space, and I will type routes here. So again, if I will hover over routes, so as I told, either it should be a list or map. So like even just quick revision, like what exactly is the map. Map supports key value pair. Okay, so if you are already familiar with the dictionary in Python, so this is exactly the same, like just the name here in the Dart is called map. Even in the Java we have a map, a hash map, and very much other variable as well. But the main like the concept of the map here is key and value pair. So I've just created a routes here. So as routes is a map, so instead of typing square brackets, I will go for curly braces, because map is denoted by curly braces, and array, if you want to create array or list, then we have to use square brackets. Okay, so I have to just give the name of this route. So let me just give the name here. Let's say first page. Okay, so this is the name, and now I have to assign the value pair. So how we are assigning actually the value pair? The value pair we are assigning here by the colon here, and then we have to type the value. And what value we have to type? That value will be actually the build context. Okay, so in some time I will explain you the context, like what is context. So I'm just typing here once context, and here I have to give the name of the class, that is my first here. So that's how I created my first page, and the same thing I will go for the second page as well. So I'm creating the route for the second page as well. So the same thing I will use here. I will type context again, and I will type here my second. Okay, so now I don't need this home anymore. So this part already we have created. Okay, this I don't know. Okay, so this part we have already created. We have created this kind of thing where we have stored all of the information about this page. Now what we have to do, we have to assign like which one will be our first page. First page kaun sa hoga? In some may say this all like we have created here. Different pages we have already created, but now we have to specify like which will be our first page. For that, what I have to do, there is an option for initial route as well, and initial route is a string. As you can just hover over this and you can check, it is a string, and you just have to pass the name of this route inside this. So I want my first page to be the first page, like the name I've added here, first page as the route name, and I have to just again restart this code. Okay, so some error we are getting here. Okay, so it is telling the a new statement dart.js. So when I type some kind of route, so it automatically imported. So I just have to remove this. Sometimes I don't know, there's a bug in Flutter, I can say. So it get automatically added here. So now you can see like we have created the first page here. And now if I will click on this page, like nothing will happen. because inside the button click I have not added any information here. Okay, so for example, like I want my second page to be the first page. Okay, the initial route. So what I will do, I will add initial route as second page, and if I will run my code, I can see the first page here, the second page, but my requirement here is to first page. So I will just add this thing here. I will repeat all of these concepts again as well. So just don't worry if it is not clear to you. We will work on this a few more times as well. So if you have any issue, just don't worry about that. Okay. So, but what I will try to do now, on click of this button, I will navigate this to some other page. Okay. So I will just type here. For that, we have a navigator to navigate to other page. Navigator dot. Now my requirement is to push. Like actually, this is a stack, complete stack. If I will say, let me give an example. Okay, for example, let's suppose we have three pages. This is the first page, this is the second page, and this is the third page. What I want is to, from first page I want to go to second page, and from the second page I want to go to the third page. Okay, so now what will happen, as you already seen in the app, we have a two option to go to back, or we can just directly press the back button. Okay, but like if I go from first page to second page and second page to third page, and if I press back, then again I want to go to this page, and if I again press back, I want to go to this page. Okay, so this all information about going to the next page is stored in a stack. Like when we have added in the stack, like if you already know about the stack, about the DSA concept, so here the page one will be created, and again page two will be created, and if we again want to go to the previous page, like we will remove this thing and we will go to that page. So if you already know the concept of stack, so it won't be an issue, but it, like just understand for that, if I want to put the information about the page I want to go, so I can just navigator dot push the named. And the reason I'm using the push the named here, because we are using the named parameter here. This is our name, because we have given the name of our page to be the first page, and the second page we have given the name it as a second page. And here I have to just copy the name of my second page, like which page I have to go here, and we have to just run this app again. So let me just click on this page, and now we can see as soon as I click on this page, we are automatically headed to the second page here. And as this is a stack, there is a back button. If I will click on the back button, I can again go to the first page. So this button is there is by default, but if you want to remove this, like you can override this thing in the elevation, and that part will be removed. Okay, so I think this concept, like you have got, like if again I want to create a third page, and again I will click on that button, the third page will open, and if you will press the back button, first you will go to second page, and then again you will press the back, you will go to the first page. Okay, so I think a little bit you got the idea, like what we have done. Like I will just repeat this concept once again. So the first thing, like what we have done is, like we have created some kind of index page. Okay, so like in a book we have an index page where there's information about each and every chapter. So the similar way, we have created a routes which we call index here, and about each and every page we have stored the information here. Like if in app we have 100 different pages, and if you want to navigate here, so we can just navigate using the name. If you want to navigate, then you have to type inside this. Okay, and if I'm using the route, like if I will remove this line, okay, let's just try. If I will remove this line, and if I will run this code, then there's some error. The reason here is our app doesn't know like which page we have to open at the initial. Okay, but like if like I want to specify thing, like I can type first page here, and if I will run this code, then our app know like this is our first page. Okay, but let me just remove this thing, and I will type slash here, and I'm running this code again. Okay, so now our app is running without any error. I have not typed initial route anywhere, but still our app is running. Okay, so the reason here is, so the by default value of the initial route is slash. So if I am using the slash, then our app knows, okay, this is our first page, and if I want to change the, like I'm just overriding its name from slash. Okay, so if so by default value of the initial route is slash, but if you want to change its values to some other name, like the previous day I've added the first page, then you have to use because it will search for the slash, but we don't have a any route available with the slash name. So that's the reason we were getting error. So I hope this concept is clear. Now, like, we skipped one part, which is the context. Okay, so what is context here? So let me just explain you. uh, Suppose like we are moving from first page to second page. Okay, so we want some information to be stored. Okay, for example, in the Amazon page, you have added 3 to 4 items in the cart, and you move from the cart page to the payment page. But for example, your mind have changed and you just don't want to place the order, like, or else you want to change your add to cart, like you want to some add another product as well, or let's suppose you want to remove the product. So you will go back, but now you already want some information should be present there. Okay, that like there should be again the +4, like if you've added 4 items in the cart, it should be present there. So that all information, not just that, again many information are stored inside the context. So that's the reason we are passing the context. And again, like when I'm moving to the other page, we have the information context here. So if you have any doubt, like you can just type in the chat. Here, can't we add second page in on press of first page? Yes, you can add. It's like the first page here is just the name. First page here is just the class name, and the name here is just the first page and the second page. It can be login, like for just for showing you the demo, I have named it as the first page. In the real app, you won't find any app with the name of first page. It might be a login page, registration page, or home page, or dashboard, any kind of page it can be. About text field, two methods. Shrishti Kashyap, like if you could please repeat. Okay, I think you are asking about the two methods of the text field. Okay, I will explain that as well. That's not an issue. Apart from that, if you have any question, like you can type in the chat. Meanwhile, I can again explain the text field. Okay, so I'm in the first page. So as I am using the center, and center already only supports a single child, so what I will use column, because I again want this text field as well, and I want the button also there. So what I will do, I will just copy this code from here. I will copy this code, and I will remove this code, and I will type column, and inside column I will paste this code. So everything here is same, and the reason it is not in the center, because in the column we have a main axis alignment, and I can put main axis alignment to center. So now again we have a button in the center. Okay, so now my requirement is to add a text field. Text field we have added. So in the text field we have a button. We have a function with the name onChain. Okay, so I'm pressing Ctrl+S, so you can see the text field, but uh, it's not looking pretty good. So I will add some decoration. So it's just optional. I'm just telling you, like you can add as many things. Like there's a border, if you want to add some border on the 2 sides, 3 side, or many other sides. So you can just add that thing. And I'm just adding a border because I want a border outline input border I'm using. There are other types of border as well available here. So here we have a text field, and on clicking this I can just type anything. Okay, so again, what I want here, I want to use this variable afterwards. For example, like if I will, this is a name. Let me just add a hint text here to, let's say, name. And okay, so now it is pretty much user friendly. So the user know I have to type the name here. Okay, so what will happen if I will type Sid here? Oh no, here I will type my name here, and I just want to this value to be printed. Okay, as soon as it's my requirement. Okay, like or else I want the text here. This is text, or instead of like button click, I want whatever I type here should be printed here. So for that, what I have to do, I have to create a variable here. So I will create a variable with the name, and initial I want it to be empty, for example. Okay, and I will set this name here, name, and again I will run this code. Everything here is the same, because it's an as name is empty, so it won't print anything. But if you will add anything inside it, it will print here. like as you can see. Okay, so but I want it to be empty, and I want as soon as I type something here, it should display here on the screen. Okay, so for that I have to track I want to update this variable name as soon as I type something, and for that we have a function with the name of onChange. Okay, so inside the onChange function, as the, okay, so let me just compare this button and this. So in the button we don't have any parameter because it is a it don't have any parameter, but the text field store the value of whatever I type inside this, and this value is stored inside this variable. So I'm just naming this it as value, and I want to update this thing here. So I will type name equals to value. I'm just running this code again, and let's see if I type something here, but I can't see anything to be printed here. So the reason here is because first thing I'm using stateful, so it is right. But if I'm updating a value, I have to use a set state function, and I have to update this value inside the set state. Running this code again, and let's see. So whatever I'm typing here, like you can see, is getting printed here. So that's the thing about the text field. Okay, so you can like this is the kind of a jugaad, like what I can say, that you're using the onChange function here, but there are some other ways as well, uh, like to keep track of this value. I will just tell you in a minute. The reason I've told about the onChange function here is, for example, you're creating a chat app similar to a WhatsApp. So in WhatsApp, what happens here is, like the first user, like here I have two devices. Let's name it A and B. So what happens here is, if the first user is typing, so the second user gets here called typing. Okay, the notification, or if you are using Instagram, so it will create a bubble with the name dot 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 dot. So what exactly happening here is, they have written some logics here inside the onChange. Like if user is typing something, this function is getting called, and they are updating some values to database, and that value is again fetched to some other user. So that's about text field. Other thing, that controller as well, I will explain when there will be requirement about text field. Sir, I'm confused about button. There are so many types of button. Elevation, icon, button. Okay, so again I will explain this. The majorly 3 or 4 types of buttons are used in Flutter. The first one is the elevated button. Okay, so you have already seen the elevated button. The other one is the text button. The third one is you have already seen, which one you have added is the icon button. Okay, so we have an icon button, and fourth one we have the floating action button. So these two you have already seen. Icon button I will show in some time, and text button, let's just see. So we have elevated button, so I'm just adding another button here with the name text button, and you can just look it to the UI instead of text button. So again, text, every button will have two parameters. The first one is the on press, and other will be the child. So the on press functionality is quite clear because I want to add something, like I want to handle some kind of information while I click there. So just I will add click me. Running this code again. So now you can see this is a button which is similar to a text, but it has some kind of like if I will click on this, you can see this thing kind of hover. So it just distinguish bit from text to some button, but still some this elevated button has some kind of elevation here. So it just give a feel like this is outside your phone, or it gives some kind of elevation, like they are adding some shadows and look and feel. So it looks like a button, not a text here. So this is a text button again, and again we have an icon button. So let me just directly show you what is icon button. And icon button, let again this is the same thing, on press function, and instead text button support child where we can add any widget, but icon support only a specific widget which is icon. So I'm adding icons dot for example send button. Okay, like similar we have in WhatsApp. So now this is the icon button. Again, this is a button like in WhatsApp we have, when we click on this, some functionality is happening. So that's the same thing. This all three are button, as you can see, and again floating action button in the previous class we have discussed, which is in the bottom. So these are the majorly 4 types of button which are used in Flutter. So that's all. I think this concept is clear. Okay, I think no more doubts here. Like we can move on to the new concept here. So we have discussed about buttons. We have discussed about how to go to the new page. Okay, so that we have already done. But now our requirement is to fetch, like to add everything dynamically. Okay, so again, I'm creating a new page, new Dart file, and I'm creating a Dart file with the name third, for example. Let's say third, and I'm let's keep it stateful, and I'm just naming it my third. Okay, so I'm just adding scaffold, running this code again. Okay, so there's no error, but for testing I want this third to be placed at the first page. Okay, so I have to create a new route here. I will create a new route, third page. I will add context, and here we can add my third. So I think this this way we have added the third page to our index file, but I want this to be our initial route, so I will, instead of this, I will paste this here. Running this code again. Okay, so we have a third page here. So first thing what we do is adding an app bar. So the reason I'm adding the app bar, so it will be much clear to you like we are in which page. Third page. Okay, so I've added an app bar. So inside the body, uh, now what I want, like in the previous class, like what we have created some kind of a Gmail UI. And let me just again open that Gmail UI. Gmail UI mobile app. Okay, so okay, so like what we have done, like we've created this thing, but we are again copying and pasting different again and again. But my requirement is like this should be automatically, like if there is a size of 5 coming from some database kind of thing, so this part should be automatically updated. Like the similar way, like if I give you example, is the WhatsApp or Instagram chat. Like everything here is dynamic. Like there's a simple like kind of UI like which we have created, and that UI is again and again getting updated. Okay, so first we will create some kind of user interface similar to this. And again, if I want to update every information, like I can fetch through some database or some API. Okay. Maybe like if we have some time today, like we will discuss about API, like how to fetch data from the internet as well. But let's see how far we can go. Container I've created. Uh, and inside container, like what I will do, I will create a column. Inside column, for example, let me just try to clone that same UI again. Uh, or else I can just copy the code so it will save time. So it was day 4. I don't know in which class we have discussed actually. Okay, it will take more time I think. So instead I can just create it again. uh, Let me just create any kind of UI. Okay, so column, the first thing like what we want here is that's icon, and that icon should be okay, so circular avatar. I think in the previous class we have also used that. So inside the row, I want the first thing to be the circle avatar. So we have added a circular avatar, and below that I will add some text. This user name, for example, this is the name. Okay, let me just see. Okay, so here I've added a name, but I want this to be inside a column because I want two texts here. Text with a name, and again I will add another text with this is email. Control S. So okay, we have some UI here. Adding style to look at, give a look and feel. Font size, let's say 22. 24, or let's say 26. Okay, fine. Adding style here as well, style, text style, font size to be, let's say, 18. Okay, fine. uh, I think we don't need this column, so I can remove this column here. Okay, so everything oh, something got through. Okay, so let's just keep it as it is. Okay, so we have a circular avatar and we have a name and email here. Let me just add a margin and padding. Margin I can add, edge instance, like it will revise all of those concepts, and I'm adding 20 from each and every side. Okay, again what I want here, again the row also have the main axis alignment and the cross axis alignment, but it works exactly opposite how we have in the column. Main axis alignment dot start, I've added. Okay, uh, again here we have added, but here we have to add the cross axis alignment as well. Cross axis alignment dot start, and I'm adding, I will explain each and everything, like if it is going fast a little. I want to add a size box here. I want to add a width between this width, let's say 10. So this is looking up pretty good now. I can even add a child here, child for text, let's say S. So here we have three fields. Don't just focus on the UI. It is not looking that great, but here we have a three fields: the name, email, and S. What we can call the first name of that user. Okay, let's add another so it look more dynamic. Font weight dot bold. Okay, so here, if I want to use this again and again, what I have to do, I have to copy this code, I have to paste multiple times this code. This is what we do. Like, copy this code, I can paste this code multiple times, so I will have this information. But that's not a good way, because we are reusing this code again and again. Okay, so for that, what we, in every programming language, what we do is what we create function. So again we will create some function, and I will just name it email card. I'm just giving it a name, email card, and I'm putting returning. Just copy this code from here, and I will paste this code here, return row. And instead of using this row again and again, what I can do, I can use this email card as many times as I want. Again, I will save this code. You can see nothing has changed. I can paste this code multiple times, and you can see everything is same. Now if you will see, like, we don't have a space here, so what we can do, we can add a size box here, size box with a height of, let's say, 10, or let's say 20. So now we have a space here, but again this is not looking good. So what, here we can go for main axis alignment, and this, for this thing, like, you can play multiple times and you will find a way how it is looking good there. Here also you have to align cross axis alignment dot center. If you will play multiple times, like, it will be in the center. Okay, so I'm not wasting time there. My focus is here is, again, this thing is a little bit dynamic, but again it is not completely dynamic. The reason I'm telling you is, because again I have to add this 4 times. I have not fetched something from a database again, and again the information, name, email, each and everything here is same. But I don't want that. I want the name should be different here, the email message should be different here, this icon should be different here, and each and everything I want dynamic. For that, what we can do, we can pass parameters here. We can pass name as a parameter. So this will be a name, email, and the first letter. Okay, so I will just add it as an icon letter, and instead of just using the name here, I will just copy and change this thing here. So this is just a basic concept. It has nothing to do with the Flutter. In each and every programming language, we use like this only. Like, if there's a function to send an email, what we do, we will write a function to send an email, and we will put two two parameters, the name, maybe the name, subject, CCC, BCC, and the body. So we can add multiple parameters there, and we can call that function as many times as we want. So wherever we want to use, I can add name, email, and this letter. If I want to use icon letter, again, so running this code, okay, so it will show some error here because I've added a parameter function, but I've not passed any parameter. So if I want to pass some parameter, so let's say first one is a name, so I have to pass name, email body, for example, I'm typing email body, and third one is the letter S. Running this code again, and now you can see we have this. Again, if I want to use this multiple times, I can use this, and now I can change the name here. For example, there is some any other name, for example, ABCD or something else. Like you can just change this thing. Email body. This is email body 1, email body 2. Here I've added D, or here we can add A. So now you can see like here again something we have added is dynamic. Again, not everything is dynamic. The reason I'm telling that everything here is not dynamic, because again we have to copy this time multiple times. For example, I wanted 100 times, then I have to add it 100 times again. But my requirement is not that. I want to fetch this information to some database, and then again I want to put all of this information here. I don't want to create this children multiple times. I will create some kind of architecture, like this is how our UI should look. And if there's some database, like we can fetch from API database and everything here. Like if you have any doubt here till here, you can ask, or else like I can move to new concept. Can we use functional calling many times by loops? Yes, you can use that. Everything like in other programming languages, the for loop, while loop, we have it here as well. Can we make a map data with lots of first name, email, bodies, and sender name from map data many times by loop? Yes, you can do that. Okay, I will tell you how to use loop as well. I think no more questions. Like if any other questions, please ask. Let's wait for 2 minutes more. Let me just tell you like how the multiple screen apps actually works. Okay, let me just give you a quick demo. So let's suppose this is the login sign up page of any app. Okay, okay, so when the user has logged in for the first time, the user has logged in, so it will go to the home page. This is our home page, and inside this home page, what we have is a logout button as well. So for that, the user can log out, and it will be again go to some new page. It may be the first page, or the app user or the app developer wants me to go. But again, like my requirement here is from this page we have gone to this page, but what if the user press the back button? I don't want the user to go to this page again, because the user is logged out, and if he will press the back button, he will again go to this page. And this is the requirement, not only in the case of logout. The similar way, the phone pay, Paytm, like if the user has already scanned the QR code and the payment has done, and if the user press that button, we just don't want the user to again scan the QR code, because it will not be the user friendly, because that task is already done. Okay, the similar thing like in the Amazon, if I say the user has already placed the order, and if he will press the back button, it will be redirected to the home page, not to the page the user has all about the product, because he has already placed the product. The user don't want to go to that thing again. I think the requirement is clear. So if this is our requirement, how we can go, instead of going with the third page here, what I will again put initial route as the first page. I will run this code again. So here we are on the first page. Let's click on the go to next page. We are in the second page. Okay. So I'm again creating a body button here, body for, and I'm adding an elevated center. Inside center, what I will do, I will add a elevated button, and elevated button has two parameters. First one is a child. The child will be the text. Go to third page, and here on press, and the on press, what I'm doing, the same thing, like I'm running this code again, so you can see, go to the third page. So we are on the first page, we are now on the second page, but if I want to go to the third page, what we will do, we will type navigator dot push name, and now you can specify the route name, and the route name of our third page is third page. And now if I will run this code again, let's start from again, go to the next page. We are on the second page, and when I will click on third page, I'm on this third page. But now just imagine this as a logout button. So I just don't want the user to go, and this is again our the page the user wants to, but I just don't want to, like if the user go back, so I don't want the user to go to the second page. So for that, what I can do, instead of typing the navigator dot push the name, I will just comment this. What I will do, navigator dot push the name and remove until. So what it will do, it will just remove, uh, it will just remove this item from the stack after the user has gone. Okay, so as it is showing error because it is expecting me some kind of material route, but I want to give a named route, so I will not use this one. I will use push the named. This is push and remove until. So there are various way to go to the other page, but this two ways are used widely, and it is more easy to understand. So pushed, named, and remove until. So as you can see, we have two different, pushed and remove until and pushed, named, and remove until. So we have to go for the pushed, name, and remove until. And here I will type our route name. Running this code again, and let's see what will happen. I'm on the second page, and I'm on the third page. Now you can see we don't have a option to go to the back, and even I will like try to go to back, the app will exit. Let me give you some more examples so it will be much more clear, like when we can get this requirement. Suppose you have opened the WhatsApp for the first time. So what it will ask for your phone number, and then after it get your phone number and OTP, the user is logged in. Okay, so you are already logged in. But now again the second time, like when you will open the WhatsApp, it won't redirect you to the login page, but instead it will redirect you to the dashboard page, or maybe the chat page. Okay, so it will redirect you to this page. So after the user has logged in, just after login, for imagine for the first time he has logged in, and after logged in he has been redirected to this page. But what if the user press the back, the WhatsApp doesn't, like he doesn't want to again to get the logged in. So what will happen, those guys have to use the push name and remove until. So what this thing will do, it will remove the from the stack. All clear, Bhaiya. Okay, so I think this all concepts are clear. One more thing, like what we can learn today, the loop part we can cover in the next class, because I think we only have 10 minutes, so we can just learn a other concept here. uh, we can see how to add an image. So let's add an image. Okay. Image, so there are three ways to add an image. The first one here is to fetch some image from the internet. Example here is the WhatsApp DP. Like you have saved the DP, and the WhatsApp team, like in the WhatsApp app, it is fetching from internet. Or another example, like you are putting some photo to Facebook or Instagram, and the some user has opened the Instagram, and that photo is getting displayed in that phone. So that's the way that photo is getting fetched from internet. Another one is the asset. I will explain that in a minute. And the third one is from the local storage. The local storage is the your user device, like the Photos app or the gallery. Like if you want to use that image, like for example, you want to upload an image to Instagram. So what you will do, you want to uh, fetch that image from the gallery. So that's the way you can fetch that image from the local storage, and then that photo will be imported in your app. And that's the requirement, like what you want to do with that image. You want to upload, you want to put it on a story or something else. The third one is the asset here. Okay, so let me just explain you. So there are some images that are already in your app. Let me give you an example. Okay, so if you are using a Uber app, so there's an image for the cab already present there. Okay, or if you're using the WhatsApp, there's already a WhatsApp icon present there. Or if you're using some gym app or fitness app, so all the yoga images, yoga video or something, all those information are already present in that app. So if your app is not connected to the internet as well, those things you can find in your app as well. Even those assets can be icon as well. Those images can be icon. It can be fonts, like uh, in many apps you will find different fonts. So asset is not just limited to the images. You can have the GIF also. You can you can have image, video, or some audio as well. Like what's the use of audio? Okay, let me just explain you. The WhatsApp message you get is some other audio, or the Snapchat. The snap you get has some other ringtone, and the WhatsApp has some other ringtone. So their team has added that audio in assets. And images also, they if in app somewhat icons, you can find all of those details can be added to assets. The video also you can add, and the font also you can add. So I'm not just showing how to add image, but instead I will be telling you, the thing will be same for each and everything. The same thing will be from images, video as well. So I will tell you how to add an image, and your requirement, and just you can try how to add a font, how to add a video, how to add an audio. That will be your task. Okay, so let's just add an image. And as I told, first, the better way is to create a folder. So I will just create a folder here with a directory, and I can just name it anything. So as I want all my assets to be put here, so I'm just naming it assets, or you can just put it like images or whatever you want. So I created a asset. I just running this code again. Okay, so assets, and I have to put some image or something video. So for now I'm putting some image. I've already okay, so I already have an image. I'm just copying this Modi ji image, AI generated Modi ji image, and I'm just putting it here. And I'm just giving it a name as image1. So we have an image inside our asset folder, and I just want to add image here. Oh, there is some issue in installing. I think my uh, this phone is out of storage. This virtual phone is out of storage because like I have many apps installed here. Let me just uninstall few apps here which are higher size, or let me just go for another phone. Okay, let's just go for iOS. So as Flutter supports multiple device, so I'm just, instead of closing this, I will go for iPhone here. So here we have iPhone running. So let's just, it will took 2 to 3 phones. How can virtual phones go out of storage? Okay, so I've added some limit to that. As my laptop storage is already is 512 GB, I don't want the complete storage to be taken by that virtual device. Okay, so I've just limited some kind of space, maybe 8 to 10 GB, maybe, I just don't know. So that space already got full, so that's the reason it is showing out of space. Either I can increase that thing also, but instead let's go for another emulator, or it will be much more clear to you, like as this is Flutter, the same code can be run in Android and iOS as well. So I've just run this code. uh, okay, so I think it is updating few things because I have not run iOS for a while. So it is downloading few things here. In the meantime, I can see 40. So as you can see, the 8 GB, it has a storage only of the 8 GB. In the typical phone, we have the more storage than this, but this is just an emulator, so 8 GB is just fine here. And I'm just I just don't know how to uninstall this. Let's just try it. Okay, so I think it might take 2 to 3 minutes in installing. Bro got iPhone without even paying for it. Yes, you can have iPhone without even paying for it, but you have to pay for Mac instead. So this is basically a complete iPhone. You can see here are few apps like which I've tried installing. This is complete iPhone, as you can see. It has all the features. Even the Android emulator has more feature. It has a camera also. Like if I will show you in the emulator, it has camera also. So you will ask what camera it will open. So they have a pre-recorded session here, and we can just record the camera, zoom in and zoom out, and click some pictures here. Like if you want to record a video, you can even record a video. The reason is like if you have any requirement here to test in the app, so you can just test that app here as well. So I think this is our iPhone. Okay. And what we were actually discussing, okay, we were discussing how to add an image. So let me just create a fourth page as well, so all of those code will be preserved. Creating a fourth page, stateful, my fourth page, and naming it as a adding it as a scaffold, and creating a route for this one as well. So I'm just quickly copying this code, pasting forth, and adding it as an initial route. So here we have a blank page, just also adding an app bar, so much clarity. Title text, fourth page. Okay, so we have a fourth page. Now our requirement is to add an image. And how to add an image? Like again, I want to add an image to the body. So what I will do, I will go to body, inside, let's say center. Oh, let's not go for center. I just want to add an image. So let me just find, like, if you have any widget with the name of image. So as soon as I type image, there are few things available here. Okay, but my requirement here is not to add an image, but an asset image, because I've added this image inside my app. So I will go for image.asset, and inside this I have to just type the name here and the location. So the location here, what we have is assets slash image1.png. So I'm running this code again, and here we have some error that this asset is not found. Okay, so why we got this error? Because we have added this image to our code, but our app doesn't know that we have a folder with the name asset. So we have to tell we have to tell our app that we have a folder name asset, and it contains some images. So just look into this folder. For that, we have a file with the name of pubsec.yml. This is basically kind of configuration file that you can say. It has information about the multiple things. uh, in the in the coming sessions, like, we can discuss more on that. But for now, if you want to add some asset, like if you will open this file, you can find this file in the project directory. Here you have a file with the name of pubsec.yml, and inside this file you will find some asset already written code. So here we have an asset code. You just have to do is you just have to remove this hash here. And just keep in mind, this is in the same hierarchy because this is written in a language called YML. And the YML, this is like indentation the similar way we have in the Python. So if you will type a space here, or if you will remove the space from here, this will give some error. Okay, so now again, and inside this asset, like, you can just comment uncomment this, or instead, like, I have to just type assets here and slash. You can specify a single image, but my requirement is to just look into this complete folder. So what I will do, I just type asset, the folder, and the slash here. So what it will do, it will just completely import all of the images, all of the assets which I have inside this folder. So I'm just stopping this app again, and I'm just running this app again. So whenever you make any changes to this file, just don't hot reload or restart. Just stop this app again and run this. The reason I'm saying is because the hot reload doesn't update all of the information which is inside the configuration file. So if you want to load those changes as well, You can stop this code and you can run this code again. And now you can see like we have an image of the Modi ji inside our app. Now again, like if you want to set some more thing here to add a width or a height, you can just go inside this and you can add width. For example, if I want the width to be 300 pixel and the height again to be the 300 pixel, I can save this code and now you can see this image displayed here. The similar way, like if you want to add font here, we have a thing of font here. You can define the font family, import your font. Again, you can create a new folder as well, or inside asset, you can create another folder with the name of fonts, images, or however you want to manage this code. You can even add the video. So this assets is completely about image, video, GIF, or some any kind of thing. Okay. So you can find on the Flutter website like what all extension they support. So majorly is every extension Flutter already supports. So that's how to add an image here. Uh, like if you want to add an image from internet as well, like you can add that image from internet as well. Let me just tell you. For that, you don't have to add anything here. What I will do, I will put this inside column. I'm cutting this code because I want two children. So I will paste this image inside this, and again I have to add some image from internet. So what I will do is image.network. I have to use image.network. So as you can find we have 3-4 things here: asset, file, memory, and network. Okay. So for now, just ignore for memory, just go for asset, file, and network. The reason I'm not telling about you the file, because for file we have to learn the few other concept as well. Because if you want to get some information from the operating system or from the user device, you have to handle some permission as well. Because just imagine you are opening the Instagram from the first time, it will ask you for the permission about about your files. So if you will approve that permission, then only you can access those files. So I'm just going for the network option, and you just have to paste any image URL here. So let me just paste the image URL. So the fastest, like I'm just going to my GitHub and I can just opening link in new tab and open image in new tab. So this is a URL of just the image. So if you have any URL that only has the image, you can display that image inside your app. You just have to paste this thing here and rerun this code. So now here you have the image inside your app. So if you want to fetch any image from the internet, so that's how you can fetch. And again, if you want to add the height or width, you can just go for that, add height, you can add width, and other options like also you have here. Like if I press Control plus space, you have alignment, scale, fit, cache, memory, and many other concepts also you will have. So again, just reload this code, and that's all. So I think it's already 8. So I think that's all for today. If you have any doubt, you can just ask that doubt. Do we have to add the project at last in GitHub, or we can add the code of Gmail? Just go and add like whatever task like you have already done, like just you can go with that. Let me just give you some other tasks as well today. Uh, okay. In the meantime, like if you have any doubt, you can ask doubt. Uh, Also, like please do watch all the 2 videos like which I have told in the last session. The reason is now everything will be clear to you, how to add an image, like how to, because in that it is looking more good. So you will find some few other concept as well, the stack as well. So I just want you to explore that thing. So if you will learn about that, we can discuss more on that in the other session as well. Okay. So our goal is little, but I think we will still require 1 or 2 session more to go to the AI level. The reason I'm telling you, first you have to learn about the API, how to add some custom things inside our app as well. And then we can go to the OpenAI thing. We will create some kind of chat app UI similar to the WhatsApp. Like I have showed you in the previous class as well, the app I've created, the developer assistant. So we'll create a same kind of UI there. Great, really great session. Thank you. Uh, so that's all from my side. I think no question. Sir, attendance link. Uh, I don't have the link. I can just, what I will do, I will just ping Lakshit and he will share you in the group itself. Actually, this cohort was actually for the 6 days, but I think we have to increase for 2 more days. And just a quick update. Okay, so we will not be having cohort for the coming Saturday, Sunday. The reason because I'm actually outside. Um, so maybe I will just update you in the group itself. Like when can we plan the session? Maybe before Saturday, Sunday. If you guys are also available, you can just tell me. We can plan it on the maybe 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. or else we can plan it for the next Saturday, Sunday, as you guys say. The reason like one class got extended is the first almost the first session is gone in the setting of the flutter, so the first day is almost gone. If you don't have doubt, just go with the videos for the next class and just try to create any class. 9 to 10 p.m. is too late. Okay, so we can just proceed uh, with some other day. I will update in the group itself, that's not an issue. And today I will actually share the complete code. Like actually I've tried to find the code, but it was in different folders, so I have to create a repository, and I will add the code of each and every day in a single repo, and I will just share you the link of that. But till then, like if you have any if you want to go through the code, like you can just watch this video again, so you will get that. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much. When closing ceremony of AppDev code, we will update in the group, because after the next week we will be having Diwali, so maybe after Diwali we can plan the closing ceremony as well. Okay, so that's all from my side. Thank you so much. Bye bye.